How we doing, Russ?
I'm all right, mate. Welcome to part two. The picture of me there from other day, freezing my knackers off on a
How's
4.4 mile run.
how's the weather been down with you? Do you hit that storm quite bad? Or
Did what?
storm? Did that big storm affect you much down there?
Yeah. It was bad in Amsterdam as well. It was windy, rain, hailstorm.
Aye,
It's a drizzy and dark place that for me. Uh,
aye,
over there, not. It's like a bit like London and Manchester, pissing it down all the time. But
aye.
yeah, but yeah, it's weather been okay up your way, kid.
It was pretty wild here, right enough. Where we are is quite windy anyway, but that's the worst wind since I've been here. I've been here about four and a bit years now. It's pretty brutal. It was
Is
right
it?
weather walk, so I was all the schools were closed and that because of the storm, man.
God. Uh, where's AJ gonna go now? Because like Fury's basically got him by bollocks, hasn't
Aye. He'll wait till he signs with somebody else. He signs for another fight, and then he'll start making noises about coming back. I think that's what he'll do.
he? Okay. Uh, obviously we know about this because we had a bit of inside information. They're saying Crusher and Junior's April 26th. We've known a couple of weeks, maybe about 12 days, isn't it? But do you think that it's going to happen that?
Um, I think it probably will, just because for money reasons, it's got to happen. I think Eddie Hills will be wanting his cut out of Crusher's purse to cover all his expenses that he's probably out of pocket with him, isn't he? All the stuff that's going on.
Hmm.
I think it's probably got to happen from their perspective.
Well, they're saying they're getting 6.5 million Ben, so if he's on 20%, that's 1.3 for Eddie.
There you go. That'll top his bank balance up a bit.
Yeah, he'll have a bit of
Wonder
tax
what,
come off that, like, but
wonder what Eubank's getting in there, because for me, it's not a 50-50 fight. Eubank should be getting more.
well, I mean, this is how I look at it, right? If Eubank were getting a 10 million and Ben were happy with 6.5, why would he be bothered that he's getting 10 million? If I'm going to fight Tyson Fury now, I'd want £1 million just to get stuck into him. But he'd want more to get out of bed, wouldn't he? But
Hmm.
I don't know all this 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. Just people should just say how much they want. That's what Dennis always used to say to me. Why don't they just say what they want? Why would you be bothered about what the next man gets, as long as you're happy?
All this A side, B side pish. That's what it is. And that all started with
Don't
Floyd
know that.
Mayweather.
What have they won, the pair of them between them? They've got a vacant British between them. That's your lot. No European. He's got, what's he got? A WBA interim and an IBO, other one. Couple of
Hmm.
IBOs, hasn't he? That's it.
That's way more than Ben's got. Eh?
Oh, yeah, what about? As he's got a WBA Continental that they invented for him to fight some journeyman.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
joke. Eh?
it's a joke.
Absolute joke.
The undercard, you got Lyndon Arthur against Yard in a trilogy. You think that's a bit of a Groundhog Day fight?
Yeah, that's a fight. It's better fights than that could be happening. I'd probably rather see um, Anthony Yard against Liam Cameron or somebody like that.
Would you?
Well, it's different, isn't it? I didn't want to see. It's like I didn't want to see Usyk fighting Dubois again. We've seen that. It's going to be the same result. So I'd rather see him fight Parker, but shit, that might happen. Uh, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, have you got that one, Parker and Tubar Andy?
I'm thinking. I'm kind of leaning towards Parker on points. I think Parker's more skillful. Dubois tends to come in straight lines, doesn't he? And he's got big power, right enough. But is he any more powerful than Zhang? Zhang's a big puncher, isn't he? And he's got a fast backhand, Zhang, isn't he? He dealt with that. He dealt with Wilder. I mean, Wilder's probably done now anyway, but he still dealt with him. A lot of people were picking Wilder and Zhang over Parker before these fights, weren't they? So
Yeah.
it's easy for us after the event to say, well, they're getting on a bit or whatever, But I think Parker under showed against Wilder anyway, under Andy Lee, he can box to a good game plan, and against Zhang actually. So I think with Andy Lee in his corner, he's kind of a force to be reckoned with. I think these days, he's maybe not good at one particular thing, but he's a good all rounder, isn't he? He's quite.
Parker's a 7 out of 10
He's
all the way across, isn't he?
he's got better movement than Dubois, I think. So, and you always say movement's key to a lot of things, isn't
Of course it is. If you can get your feet in position to get out of the way or to land a
it?
shot, isn't that a good thing?
Yeah,
But do you
that's it.
think
You can't. I
you go on?
was going to say you can't. It's no point in having a nuclear bomb if you can't deliver it.
Yeah. Do you think that John Coffey's gonna get knocked out, or do you think he just runs over Parker?
I think Parker could fiddle his way to a points victory. Yeah.
Dear,
Mm.
do you really
I think
think?
there's a possibility of that. I mean, Dubois might run him over, but I don't know. It's just Parker's way more durable than Joshua, I think, and he's got better movement than Joshua has now, like, and he's got a better chin. So but that's not to say he's going to win. That's just a theory I've got that he could. I think he's more likely to win on points than to stop Dubois. I think Dubois has got quite a decent chin, but I think Usyk broke his heart, didn't he? He just fucking bamboozled him, didn't he? Usyk just with movement, speed, angles, all sorts, didn't
Oh, Usyk's the daddy, isn't he?
he? Total different level, eh?
Do you think he's done now, Usyk?
I think he'll have another couple of fights just to cement his legacy. But he's not going to get any better now, is he? At that age, I don't believe he can get any better. But I think he's good enough to beat anybody else that's around at the moment.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, they're talking about Turkey Al Sheikh was talking about Usyk against Atuma, wasn't he? But I don't see that fight happening. I don't think.
Don't you?
I might be wrong, but I don't see. I think Usyk will retire before Atuma gets near him.
Do you think Usyk's and Atuma will fight, Andy?
I don't think that'll happen. It'd be an intriguing fight, wouldn't it? A kind of two generations coming together, But I think Atuma's the real deal. But at this moment in time, I don't think he could beat Usyk.
Don't you?
No.
Even now?
Maybe in 2 or 3 years, he might be able to beat him.
Do you think they're going to
I
wait
think Usyk.
out for Usyk to get old, Andy?
I think so. I think they'll maybe get Atuma a regular belt against Kubrat Pulev. I've got a feeling they might do that. But I think Fabio Wardley, is he no mandatory for that belt, or he's number one ranked? He's maybe no mandatory, but he's ranked number one. So Atuma's got to leapfrog him. There's no point in him not fighting for this title if he's turned pro early in order to beat this Mike Tyson's record. He's got to go for it, isn't he? If he gets the opportunities.
Of course he has, yeah. But I don't think they're going to get him in for a belt. And can we really count a regular
Nah,
beating Mike's record, even though Mike's a nonce?
because he was. Who did he beat? Berbeck, wasn't it?
He
So
beat
was
Burbick, and
Berbeck,
he were an Olympian, Burbick, wasn't he? And he had a win over Ali, though, didn't he?
and he was the main. He was probably. Excuse me. He's probably the main champion at the time, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Pinklon Thomas he beat?
Well, yeah, but if you look at it, Pinkland Thomas, Tim Witherspoon, Mike Weaver, Tony Tubbs, Trevor Burbick, all that lot. in my opinion, were like also runs. They all end up having a belt for one day. Bone Crusher Smith and all them. You know what I mean? They weren't like I know Tim Witherspoon was a two-time champion, but they weren't like guys that were going to go on long runs like Larry Holmes and reign forever, weren't they? They were always going to get beat, weren't they, in the next fight? Or
Did they call them Alphabet Boys or something like that at the time, didn't they?
oh, the forgotten heavyweights, didn't they, back in the
Mm.
day? Yeah,
Witherspoon's probably the best out of that lot, wasn't
yeah, Tim Witherspoon. Yeah, because he was fetched up on that sparring alley, wasn't he?
he? I thought he nearly beat Holmes, didn't he? He gave Holmes a hard fight, didn't he?
Okay,
Took him to the wire.
everybody split decision. Everybody said that Holmes lost,
Mm.
and that
Took him to the wire anyway.
yeah, oh yeah, it's
He made a comeback. Was he about 38 or so? I remember he knocked out that big Cuban guy. Was it Gonzalez?
yeah.
Jorge Luis Gonzalez. But he was trying to get a Tyson fight, but maybe Tyson didn't want to fight him, eh? Because he would still be a force to be reckoned with at 38. Witherspoon, wouldn't
Tim Witherspoon were a good fighter, but he never really struck me as being in shape. Although
he? Mm.
he tore Frank Bruno apart, and he soaked it all up, and then just set about him, didn't he?
In some ways, you could probably call him an underachiever, eh? I think he could have probably just done a bit more, couldn't
You
he?
know, Tim
Good talent.
Witherspoon, Dennis had a do right. This is a true story. Ask anybody this. Hilton. Clinton Woods had a fight. Well, he trained Clinton at one point, didn't he? Tim Witherspoon.
Mm.
It was also like a driver minder to Dennis's dad. He put him in an house, give him a wage and all that. I mean, they were proper ponce. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he came into toilets in Ilton at Sheffield, and the chaps were all snorting gear off at windowsill. And he came in, had a piss, right, dried his hands, and then turned blower on them at windowsill and blew sniff all over the place. Back to it morning, fucking nearly a riot, mate.
Okay.
Absolutely nearly a fucking riot, mate, honestly. But it is what it is, isn't it?
He
But
maybe wouldn't be the right boy to pick on, no, eh?
oh, yeah, there was some a few tasty lads in there. Well, no, probably not like, but listen, mate.
Ah,
Lucky you didn't get filled in because there were some really unhappy people.
ah.
You know, that time of night you can't get out. Not back in them days, but uh okay. What do you think to Beefy against Aaron McKenna on that undercard, Andy? Load of old pony, innit? I thought it was all right, but I would look at that Aaron McKenna and Beefy's Beefy's last performance. I mean, how's he even at mix?
I don't really know much about Aaron McKenna, to be honest, but it's just a kind of comeback fight for him, is it? Just a sharpness tools fight, maybe, is it?
What's happening with Lazy Rhino and Elmer Fudd? Are they going to fight or what? What's the story, Andy, with this? What's going down?
I think they've got to fight, don't they? That fight's got to happen. The Elmer Fudd can't move on until that, till he, well, he's got to have an attempt at correcting that wrong. But I think the Lazy Rhino will beat him. They
Yeah.
beat him already, didn't they? But he just didn't get the nod, eh? I think he'll beat him.
Well, what's happening with Lazy Rhino? 1 minute he's saying he's won, then he's not, then he's won, then he's not. Is his head in turmoil or something, or has he just got no knackers to put it on him and say, "Listen, give me this rematch or fucking whatever"? Because now Eddie Hills, and Bricktop are united as one. I think it's even harder for fights to get made. Do you?
Yeah, at a certain level, the bigger fights will happen. That fights sort of doing the card a bit like their fight. It could be more a sticking point for fights like that happening as opposed to the big fights happening, which was used to be the other way about. But I think Turkey Al Sheikh, if he does his job, he'll make it happen. Eh? Because that was one of the best fights on that card, wasn't
Oh, without a shadow of a
it?
doubt.
The best fight, wasn't
Right, Andy.
it? Yeah.
Who have you got if the rematch?
The lazy rhino. I made a video called him the cuddly rhino because he's needing to get a bit more growl about him and start shouting a bit more. Eh? big himself up a bit instead of pandering to Eddie Hills. Hills.
Eddie Hill in the blue corner from Billy Ricky. Eddie Hills in the red corner from Liverpool. Ladies and gentlemen, the Smith. The Beatles
who
of boxing.
who was the ring announcer? But I've got their t-shirt on under the Beatles. There's a Smiths there. Look.
You
The-
absolute weapon.
just when you said the Beatles there, that came into my head.
Are you a Beatles
The
fan?
I like the Beatles. I see their names on my wall of fame there. Look, like in the cavern
We
club.
all live in a Robbie Fowler house, a Robbie Fowler house, a Robbie Fowler. Uh,
The who was the ring announcer that used to say the second name came back? And was that Jimmy Lennon's father? Was it Jimmy Lennon Senior?
yeah, I
Used to
think
say, I think it was. That David. What's his name? The fucking
man,
bionic man. I think he says it now and again, doesn't he?
I
Repeats the surname.
crashed on a motorbike at 160 and got up and without a scratch on him.
Steve Austin of boxing.
Yeah. Willem Smith against Brandon Glanton. What do you think of that, Andy, on Eubank Ben Undercard?
I keep seeing that Brandon Glanton getting interviewed by people. As it on like Talksport and that, he seems to get interviewed quite a bit. Is he in the same training team as Eubank? Because he was talking about
Yeah,
sparring Eubank.
saying sparred Eubank. What's a middleweight sparring a cruiserweight for?
When he's going to be fighting a welterweight.
But he's fighting a guy who's saying he can do super lightweight. You couldn't make this up. Andy learned out from Kell Brook Golovkin.
Yeah. I just hope Eubank does the business and gives him a humiliating beating, like 2 rounds, six knockdowns or something like that. Like a Frazier.
I'm not going to say all that. Oh, I hope he don't get hurt and all that. I hope Crusher Ben gets smashed to bits. That's it. I hope he gets smashed up. There you go. I don't like him. He's a drug cheat. Nobody's mentioning this. Oh, he's been cleared. He's been cleared. Yeah, but how did it get in his system? How come nobody can put it on these people? All these big hitters with
Aye.
access. Do you know some of the media here that are involved in this, right? You know, the old stalwarts, they should hang their heads in shame, because behind the scenes, they're slagging Conor Ben off, to people that we know. Now, why can't they just come out and speak out? Say it
Yeah.
in the daily newspapers because it's on the tip of their tongues, like all the colleagues. They all know what's going on. The guard, Jeff Powell, Bunce, all them stalwarts of the sport. Not, they're all shit in the pants, though, aren't they?
Scared to say boot or goose. That's it. I know. I just know. I think I've heard Simon Jordan talking about how did it get in the system in recent times, but
Mm.
I can't remember who he was asking.
He got
It was
shut down
maybe
the other day, didn't he? He was probably jug ears, wasn't it?
ah,
Arse licker. Do you know, I'm fed
number
up
one liquor.
about jug ears. Right, he's the number one arse licker, mate. I'm fed up of him. Right, let me just ask you your opinion on this. Vito Riley against Chevron Clark. Does that float your boat?
Not
No.
really, no.
Do you know that? Vito Riley, Chevron Clark, Bill and Smith, Brandon Glanton, Beefy and Aaron McKenna, Yard and Arthur. They're like the unwanteds, aren't they, really?
Mm, yeah, the
Not one
undesirable.
the undesirable. Not one of them will be on any decent money. But let me tell you this: that lot, there's none of them. None of them fights as an headline fight, is it? Yard Arthur one, but it flopped in it both times.
Yeah,
But getting back to Jug Ears, and I mentioned this to James and Terry. I'm going to ask you: do you think that every time he's asked something, he always turns it into a PR debate for his mates like Finchley Boxing Club, Joshua, Don Charles, Chisora, them sort of types.
ah,
I personally think he goes into bat for them. Even when the question's not about them, he turns it into them, doesn't he, all the time? Do you know what I mean?
conversation always comes round to them. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
definitely.
I'm starting to get a little bit fed up of him now. I tried to go into bat for him. I tried to warm to him, but He's just a licker. He's what it is with Juggy is. He's just grateful to be there. He knows he's punching above his weight. He's grateful to be there, but every now and then when he gets a bit of that down him or he has a drink, what he does, he gets a bit excited at shows if he's got a microphone in his hand and he's dangerous. You've seen him interview Joshua after the fight saying you were beating the best boxer in the world for 10
But
rounds, but you just ran out of steam. Do you remember that? You remember it, don't you?
uh, embarrassing
The
that.
dad
He's
backed up as well. The pair of them are human. They're not even monitor lizards. They're human centipedes.
Muppets.
It's
It's
the
like
Muppet
the
Show starring the Gad and Jug Ears.
it is it's total cringe fest, isn't it? I mean, they should know better. No, they do know better, but they can't help themselves, can they? I mean, Spencer Oliver, he's like a chameleon, and he changes colour depending on what the
He makes
uh,
Big Mouth look tame him, don't forget. And he even admitted it himself. Do you remember that guy who we were bragging about on Talkspot when he put the first like Misfits type YouTuber show on it? Do you remember? He was involved in that, wasn't he? Him and his mate Jake Wood. And they fell out of a dough, didn't they? Well, he ain't to be trusted, is he, Oliver? You know what I mean? With a pound note. So I bet he lifted his leg, the other fella.
yeah,
See them together now, do you?
no, no
But
misfits.
I could be wrong on that. But if not, why do we not see ginger balls anywhere? Because at one point he were muscling in on a job at Sky.
Aye, big boxing fan apparently was in.
Well, so what? We all are. So what? You don't see me hanging out at back of people like them fuckers. Dalton
No,
Smith, European champion. What do you think?
I thought he performed well. He can only beat who's in front of you, but he looked sharp, powerful, and aye, I thought he did well, really well.
Well,
Um,
this is Dalton Smith versus Adam Azim. I'm getting sick of hearing it now. Media are pushing it, talk sport. They've even had Banner McGuigan on. Do you think they should do it like James DeGale and Groves did, or do you think they should wait and do it down the line? What do you think?
no, I just do it now. I would do it now because why wait? As Turkey Al Sheikh was alluding to, nobody should be scared to take a defeat, you know. So, and Peter Fury said that many times, doesn't he? So just get stuck in, get going. Uh, this protecting the role forever and end up with a padded out record, like we've said, the likes of Froch and Usyk, they've got lean records. There's no padded out with nonsense. There's no need for it. Same with Lomachenko, he just got straight stuck in there, didn't he? Did he not win a world title in his third fight or something like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Nah, get on with it because he looks ready, Dalton Smith, doesn't he? So, and I
yeah.
think Adam Azim's as good as they're making him out to be. Just put them in together and see who's the best. Huh?
Yeah, if he's got the weight off, uh, if they both got off on weights and they can do it, yeah, don't get it. Okay.
Ah,
Uh, Joyce against Patrick Quarter. He's ranked nearly 400 on BoxRec. What do you think to that?
just a confidence builder for Joyce, is it? Because he
Yeah,
doesn't.
one day on that one, would you?
I'd give him a pass on that. Just let him get a confidence builder, get back into the game. Otherwise, he gets another defeat. He's not getting a taste of the Saudi money, and he's taking his lumps for the fans, isn't he?
Oh,
He's big time. So I think he deserves a good payday. So let him get a confidence builder in a big fight out in Saudi or something like that. I think he deserves it
yeah.
because he's somebody else he's never really had any easy fights from day one. Well, his there you go. His debut was against the guy that Dillian White won a vacant British to, wasn't it?
Ian Lewinson.
In Wilson, yeah. So he he matched himself tough straight away. No like Big Freeze. And coming from a similar background, probably at a similar age, Big Freeze would have done well to follow Joe Joyce's route instead of a lot of his fights were gimme fights, weren't they, to start with? So
Big Freeze don't on too long at the AS like Joe Joyce did.
yeah.
Joe
And
Joyce,
people should
go on, sorry.
people should learn from that going forward when they see what's happened to them.
Well, Joyce has had 103 rounds. He's 40 this year and he's talking like Dave Allen.
Hmm.
When you're talking like the Lazy Rhino, you know you're heading for Skiddy Row.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Uh, Here we go then. Ben Eubank. Why do you think the fans should boycott it?
Because the drug issue, I would say, and it's a cash grab, isn't it? It's not really for the fans, is it? It's for them.
No, Bell, they just want to get the money back what they wasted on first time when Ben failed them two dope tests. Not one, but two.
Yeah. And it's all fake beef anyway, and it's peck luncheon meat. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit tired of seeing Crusher now and you
I
know
just want to see him smashed out, get him smashed out the game, and that'll shut Eddie Hills up as well. So he'll be
Eddie
running for the hills.
in the blue corner from Billy Ricky. Eddie Hills, the 6-0 Iceman. In the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, Liam Smith, one of the quartet of the Smiths. Wait, Big
That's it.
Roy Dead Dad.
Big who? Sorry,
Big Roy Dead there, old man, isn't he?
is he? I don't know.
Big old strong lump. Callum Smith, is he going to beat Boazzi, yes or no?
Uh, nah, it's probably quite a close fight that, but I think Boazzi will get him on points.
Yeah.
I think possibly, yeah.
I think if Callum Smith's been allowed to go in with Boazzi, he must be washed up to fuck.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he'll get. I think Boazzi will do him on point. That's just the feeling I have for that fight.
Honestly,
Who did Boazzi fight last? Was it Willie Hutchison? He's had another fight since then, hasn't
well, they're fighting for WBO Interim World Light Heavyweight Championship.
he?
So that means if Better Beeve and the other Bivol fight, and Bivol wins, they'll get rid of one of the belts and give it to Mundo and let him have an upgrade. Because Mundo, let's have it right, his career is absolute pony. Mundo's,
Groves will be his best one, eh?
hey,
Groves will be his best win, you would say.
George Groves is his best win. Let's have a look how many champions he's beat. Hassan Endam and Jacob. He were at Alders Hills. George Groves, 2. There's 2 there. Rocky Fielding regular. Was squeak him in. 3. I think that's it, isn't it? 3 champions beaten for him.
That's nearly as many as Fury.
He was only on 4. There
Yeah.
you go. 3 beaten. And that's it. That's Mundo Smith, face like a bag of nails. That's his story.
And he's the best of the bunch.
Unbelievable, mate. Absolutely. So he beat 3. Absolutely. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unreal, mate. Christopher Abrasi, he went a world champion. So he should thank Joe Gallagher with his lucky stars, mate, for what Joe Gallagher delivered for him, mate.
Yeah.
Advised, training him. He should really be more grateful. All them Smiths should. But like most boxers, when it suits them, they just turn on anything, not just boxing, because
Jump the ship.
they have selfishness in them. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, boxers are the most selfish people in the world, mate. They have that selfishness streak in them where they only care for themselves. That's just the way it is. That's why promoters can't stand them. All that. This is my new best friend and all that. Listen, promoters can't stand boxers. They can't stand them. They want to be them. Trust me, mate. Trust me, I've seen enough of them, mate. Honestly, promoters ain't got no time for boxers. All they want is just to earn. If they did have times when they were best friends, what happens when they get a couple of big losses? They're just kicked into touch, aren't they? Phone don't
Yeah.
ring. Don't get invited anywhere. They don't get treated anywhere to nice things and that. Picking tabs up for them and running around wiping their asses. If they've got no use to the promoters, they're no good. What they do, promoters, they mute them on their phones. That's what happens.
Just a commodity.
Yeah.
Just a commodity.
Can I ask you what you think to that show then on the 22nd? Let me just read all the fighters out and then we'll wrap it up. Event. Come on. It's phone's slow as fuck. Right. This is the commission. Boxing Board of Control, Bob Arum, Tom Brown, Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn, Benjamin Shalom, Frank Warren, matchmaker Steve Furness. Easiest set of matchmaking ever, that. Absolute easy. They've got Bradley Rhea against Constantino and Naga, Boatsi Callum Smith, Zelan Caballel, Stevenson Schofield, Virgil Ortiz, Israel Madrimov, Carlos Adames, Amzad Shiraz, Daniel Dubois, Joe Parker. Better be Bivolt's fantastic card, that, isn't it, really?
Brilliant. I mean, most of
Absolutely.
the fights could top a card. It could be card toppers.
Yeah, yeah. All of them, maybe all of them except the bottom one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That'll
it.
be a that'll be a night you get settled in early to make sure to see all the fights.
Hey?
That'll be a night to get settled in early to see all the fights. Half
Oh,
the time,
all
last
empty.
three.
I'll be sat there with my 4 pack of Guinness, a bottle of blackcurrant, big bag of dry roast nuts, and I'll just sit there, mate, swilling, eating nuts, remote on, watching boxing. That's what, with my notepad next to me, so I'll be jotting down one-liners all the way through. I should really do a live. I don't know how to set. Do you know how to do yours live on this? I'm no good with text if I'm on me. I'm a bit thick. I'll
Uh,
have to get Bearded Wonder when he comes back from Dubai. He's filming in Dubai, innit? I'll get him when he comes back to show me how to do it. Frotch does them watch alongs or frotch alongs, don't they? They can't be that hard.
uh,
He can do it.
I just managed to get by tech wise, but I think I get my young lad to help me do that. I think.
Yeah. Well, if I can do it, once I've been shown once, I'll get into a rhythm, I'll do it. But
Ah,
I'd probably get too many dicks coming on anyone to, you know what I mean? Because half 99% of them are just in behind an account anyway. The only
I
ones that
think
have
it.
got any knackers are these who come on Zoom. These are the only ones I really respect. I don't respect many people. I
I
like to
don't
look
think.
at it fucking eye me, not the fucking comments.
I don't think. If you're doing that, you're constantly going to be writing comments, and you're
Now
not
you're
going to
gonna
be able to
get
focus.
vile stuff, aren't I? And all that. I ain't got patience for it.
But you're going to be struggling to watch the fight if you're trying to read comments as well. I think that'd be a
You know,
compromise.
I
They'll
like
need
to
some.
relax and watch fight. Me, I don't want to be having
Ah,
to be messing about with computer. I mean, I don't
ah,
mind doing something straight after, not live though.
yeah.
To
Maybe
that live shit. It's
a
not.
rundown after it or something. That'd be.
I might
It's
do
probably.
something straight after it and put a video out, not live. I'll put a video out of the actual fight. Give me an opinion of it, half an hour, and then people can comment what they want in live chat. That's it for me. I'm not a diehard YouTuber like some of them with these live chat things. No, I don't get that, me. Do it?
Nah, I've never done. I've seen people doing it. I think like Frotch does it, and Hartman does it, doesn't he? That G man, do you ever see him? I think he does it
Yeah,
sometimes.
the Irish kid, he's all right. He's pretty sharp. Him, he's like a mini app man, isn't he?
He's on the kind of same wavelength as ourselves, eh?
Well, yeah, he is like, but you couldn't. I'm not bragging like that man's behind the camera in all the time. I know
Ah,
I am
yeah,
today. So I'm fucking can't be arsed today, but most of the time I'm in front of the camera. Uh,
yeah.
I'm a bit more engaging than G man, Irish kid.
Ah,
He's all right, like, but he don't look to me like he could walk into a place like me and light it up.
Aye. Mhm.
Landlords don't ring him, do they? Begging to come down and sit in the pub. You know, when I go in there, I'll have 20 round me in half an hour. But well, they don't, do they? They don't strike me. I'm not saying I vote against him, but
Aye.
I'm a
I got Sean's number. I've not had a chance to get in touch with him yet. Just been
Sean. It's
that busy.
right,
Aye.
Sean. Uh,
I'll give
yeah.
him a shout. You were saying to do a video with him. I've no actually. I've got it in my mind some point going forward to do interviews myself, but I've just never had the time or anything. But I mean, I could do stuff, and then you could put it on your channel or whatever as
Yeah,
well. Eh?
whatever, mate. Whatever. And listen, mate.
What's on it?
I'm not doing no now on Monday night. What day is it today? Wednesday, isn't it?
Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's it now on Monday. And but I might do some on my own over the weekend. I'm not doing any more Zoom. There's 63 videos now for January, and he's got a couple in production. One for the Thailand kid, Scots fighter, and another one in production. They'll stick them out Saturday onwards. So I think 63 in a month of January is not bad going, is it? To say that
Mhm.
I've been in
Keep going.
Amsterdam and I've only worked 2 weeks. I've only done 15 days this month. There's 63 videos. There's some going that.
Two a day, I mean, at least more than that.
It's averages out 2 a day, one more than 2 a day, 62 it'll be, won't it? And there's a couple backed up, so it's good going. Once I
Yeah.
get stuck in, I stuck in, but I'm a bit not hit and miss. What did somebody say to me the other day? I'm either black or white. I'm never in grey areas. Probably right. I'm either all or nothing. Like,
Oh, no.
yeah, well, if I go for a run, I can run like the wind now. I can go and just keep going until I can't do it no more till my face is freezing.
Mhm.
Train after the 500 plus sit-ups. I always overdo shit. If I smoke weed, I'll smoke it till I have a whitey. You know what I mean? It's crazy. If I have a shake, I have to have muesli, uh, honey, peanut butter, an egg in it, a banana, and then mix it all up. I have to go just do everything to extreme. Even when I was fat, I had to eat everything. When I were an heroin addict, I used to just do 7 gram a day on foil till I was sat there with my back to a wall. One day, 20 hours of sleep, leaned forward. After
Gee.
I had some 20 hours gouching, mate, I smoked that much gear. I just do everything to extreme. Or I don't do it all, or I say, right, I'm not doing no video, that's it. I
Right.
can't seem to find any fucking middle ground, Andy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if there's something wrong with my brain or if I'm backward or something. I can't be right, me, and I'm not normal.
Everything or nothing, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like even in gym today, I was doing flat bench, 4 sets of 25, and then incline 5 sets. No, 5 sets of 25, but bar to start with note on it. Then just putting light weights on. Sets of 25, just doing everything to extreme and doing it right slow. Instead of sticking 60, 70 key in, I'll put in like 30 key on or 20
Nah.
on Smiths and 10 on each and just doing it slowly. I don't know.
How'd you go in Amsterdam? A good time?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I went. Wanted to go to the Anne Frank's thing, but it was packed. But I
Nah.
went. Other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it. It were all right. It were all right, mate. I could live out there, me, because
Yeah.
everybody's chilled out. I don't like all them dibs going around on bikes, push bikes, because they've got right away over there, haven't they?
The zoo, huh?
But the space cakes are good. The weed is good. They give the menu, just pick what you want. So pop, pop, bang. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's expensive though.
Uh,
Expensive, like 70 quid for 2 cheese toasties and 2 double gins and
I think
tonic.
we're about, I think we're about out of time, mate.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, I'll see you again, mate. Keep in
Right.
touch. All right,
Good man.
take care. Pop, pop, bang.
Yeah, pal. Cheers, pal.
Right. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Booyaka. We'll see you Monday. Pop, pop, bang. Max, don't ring me ever again till you're a